John Edward Masefield was a British poet, writer, and poet laureate of the United Kingdom. Born in 1878 in Ledbury, Herefordshire, the son of solicitor George Masefield and his wife Caroline. His mother died when he was 6 years old, and his father died soon after. Educated at King's School in Warwick, in 1891 he sailed away on the HMS Conway, where he would spend several years. In 1895 he left the windjammer he was on at New York and travelled the countryside as a vagrant, before working at a bar or carpet factory. In 1903 he married Constance de la Cheroy-Cromelin, the pair having 2 children. After the outbreak of World War I, he briefly served in 1915 as a hospital orderly in the Hôpital Temporaire d'Arkenbaroy, a British hospital for French soldiers in Haute Marne. He went on 2 lecture tours in the US in 1917 and 1918, receiving an honorary doctorate from Yale and Harvard at the end of his second tour. In 1924 he was a founding member of the Scottish Association for the Speaking of Verse. In 1930, following the death of Robert Bridges, he became Poet Laureate, an honorary position appointed by the monarch of Great Britain, where one is expected to write verse for significant national occasions. He died in 1967 due to a gangrene infection in his leg. Mainsail Haul was his first collection of prose, published in 1905. Don Alfonso's Treasure Hunt is the story of Don Alfonso's eponymous treasure hunt. While on his way he comes across a mysterious island, where he goes into a small house lined with coffins, and drinks liquor with a strange red man. But when he gets out, he finds his ship near sunk and his crew all dead and starved in waiting for him, who was gone these 30 years. Port of Many Ships is a singular vision of the sailor's apocalypse, where all the drowned dead shall find peace in kingdom come. Sea Superstition is just that, a short collection of 3 or so superstitions, attributed to things and creatures from the sea, with a brief summary of the previous story for some reason. A Sailor's Yarn is a rather brief story of how Bill bought a monkey and wished to teach it to speak. By using such ingenious methods as letting it chained on the deck in the cold wind and spray, beatings, shouting and curses, and other methods known to have been used by Socrates. In the end the monkey does speak and Bill learns cruelty always pays off. The Yarn of Lanky Job recounts in brief the ludicrous adventures of a narcoleptic sailor amongst little men and rat men. A Seal Man is the story of a hybrid seal man who takes his love out to sea, where she drowns of course, driving him insane. The Western Islands has Joe and Jerry, 2 drunkard sailors, decide to find the legendary Golden Island in the west. They take Jim on board to steer while they do the most important part, singing, arguing, and beating Jim for wanting to sleep. However, their quarreling gives Jim a shot to turn the tables on them when they find the island and its sleeping queen. Then we have 5 stories that are biographical summaries of the lives of famous pirates, among them John Ward, John Jennings, and Robert Knox, and the fate that befell the leaders of the Synod when they decided to turn to piracy. In A Castle Ruin is the story of how Andy MacDonald came home from dealing with the Scots without his ship or crew, and the pointy ears and him speaking to goats somehow doesn't alarm his family that something is wrong, until someone tells them he died a year ago, leading to a very bloody finale.